outfit reveal. Every crevice. They didn't miss it.
Then I quickly realized that it was Chad's masseuse smacking him.
He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm okay, I'm okay."
Ever since we saw that we were going to be coming to Turkey, Claire suggested that we should try a Turkish bath. In order to do some research, we started watching some videos.
Some of the main keywords from other YouTube videos were abused, beaten, brutal, passing out. And we were like, oh my goodness.
So that's what we're about to do today.
So we decided, since this is our first time doing it, why not do it together? So traditionally, of course, men and women do it separately. So they have their own bath, their own rooms, but we did find one here in Istanbul that allows couples to go in together.
And if one of us passes out, we'll, you know, have each other.
I have seen really good reviews about this place, so I think it'll actually be a pretty good experience, but of course, we'll have to go and try it out to actually know.
Hello again.
Ooh. It's my favorite cat. All right, bye-bye.
After 40 minutes of walking up and down the hills of Istanbul, we're a little bit out of breath, but we have made it to the Suleymaniye Hamam, which was originally built in 1550 by a famous architect here that actually built the nearby mosque that you can actually see from the bridge as you're walking across to this side of Istanbul. But we're about to go inside and experience one of the most iconic Turkish traditions, and I'm just so grateful that this place is open and that we get to have this wonderful experience today.
We've just made it into the hammam and we took off our shoes and went upstairs, and they provided us with some clothes. So I have a very cute bikini top as well as these fun little shorts. And I also have a nice little towel to wrap up in. And then Chad also has some shorts similar to these as well as a towel. So now we're gonna get changed and then we're gonna go experience our bath. All right, a little outfit reveal. All right, we're gonna go into our bath now, but we will catch you guys right after. I feel so insanely clean, like every crevice. They didn't miss it.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I opened my eyes once the water wasn't in it, and I saw like piles of dead skin on the ground. Did you see that?
Yeah, we'll tell you more about it once we get back. That guy was mine, and then this one was Chad's. Sign their guest book. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Thank you.
We've made it back to our Airbnb from our Turkish bath, and now let us tell you about our extraordinary experience there. So after putting on a very stylish outfits, we ran down the stairs, and waiting for us at the bottom of the stairs were some clogs.
Yeah.
The most interesting shaped clogs. It was incredibly hard to walk in those. We both definitely slipped several times, and the staff was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
careful.
It's like wooden with a leather strap.
I was just
Yeah, it was
wobbling
hard.
like a penguin.
All right, so something to note is that it was strictly forbidden to film. So we couldn't film with our primary camera. We had to use our phone for most of the shots in the main area, but then after that we couldn't film at all.
Yeah.
And it slowly gets warmer and warmer as you go through the separate rooms, and then you finally make it to the main room, which was extremely epic. It was so cool. It was like a marble center area with these 4 cavities on the corners.
Yeah, and in one of the cavities, Solomon the Great actually bathed there. We decided to go and lay where he once laid. And what was really cool about this experience is that it brought me right back to the saunas that we were able to experience over in Finland. But of course, it was a much larger space, and everything was covered in marble, from the floors to the surfaces.
I believe it was 39 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, there was a little thermometer, and we were trying to see how hot it was. But once we got in, we both laid on a marble surface, and then we just started to sweat our lives out.
And they had this like ambient music playing, so slowly you're like starting to meditate, and it's like, I don't know, it made me feel like I was living in the 1500s or something.
Yeah, it's like this little flute or recorder, and it's just going.
And anytime you speak, it's like it diffuses the noise that you make because of all the chambers of the ceiling.
After after just laying there for about 20 minutes, I was looking at my skin and it looked completely airbrushed, like I looked like a frog. And then on that airbrushed skin were just thousands and thousands of beads of sweat, and it looked like crystals in the light. I was like, whoa, this is weird.
So after sweating for about 45 minutes, that is when we heard a hello, and two men were ready for us on the opposite corner of the main area.
So we put our clogs on
Yes.
and wobbled over. Yes, exactly like that. And then they had us sit down on the marble ground, and that is when they splashed some cold water on us, and it literally felt like heaven because I was the hottest I had ever felt in my entire life. Oh, it felt so good.
Felt amazing.
Yeah, I was wanting that for so long.
So then after cooling us down a little bit, and they're always cooling themselves down as they do this because they're working so hard, they proceeded to scrub us.
So they put on this oven mitt that basically looked like it had sandpaper, and it felt like it had sandpaper all around it, and they just started going for it. All over our body, everywhere, legs,
They grab an arm,
arms,
grab a leg.
Yeah, even my stomach, and my chest, my neck, everywhere. And you just see like these rolls of brown coming off your body. And
Like that rolled ice cream you can
oh
get.
gosh. And it's basically just your dead skin leaving your body and like flowing away with the water that they're splashing on you. But I felt so good to see it coming off because like I don't want to be carrying that. So while they were scrubbing, every about like 5 seconds I would hear this sound. And then I quickly realized that it was Chad's masseuse smacking him.
Yeah, I would get or like, so it would be somewhere different on the body. And he would smack me, then scrub, and then smack me and scrub a different area, and I'd never know when it was coming.
Yeah, they didn't smack me, but they were, you know, smacking you up. And then after that, they had us get up and then lay down on the marble surface, and that is when bubble time came. So while they're doing like the bubbles, I was looking over at Chad because I was facing him and I could kind of see what they were doing to create these bubbles, and it was actually really, really interesting. Let me demonstrate with a prop so you can kind of understand what I saw. So they would both have a cloth bag and they're going like this in the air, la 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 la, and then they would puff it up like so, and then they'd go like this. And then from it, just tons of bubbles would come onto Chad's body and my body, and we would just be in a pile, like a huge pile.
Was it really that big?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it.
Yeah, of bubbles.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you're like a little bubble monster over there.
After the bubble time, they proceeded to massage us.
Yeah.
And at one point during the massage, I was taking a big... And right when I exhaled is when he decided to push on my back with force. And then I proceeded to croak because I was completely out of air. And then he pushed the rest of the air out of me and I went... exactly like that. And he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I'm okay.
I heard that. I was like, I wonder what's going on over there. They did every single part of your body. So instead of using oil, they used soap. And so while massaging, they were also cleaning you very, very well. Once I was done, I literally didn't have a single drop of oil left on my body. It had all been cleaned off. After we were massaged and cleaned off with soap, they had us get back up and we sat back on the ground. And that is when they splashed some more cold water all over us. And then they asked if we wanted to shampoo. And of course, we both said yes. And so they washed our head nice and clean. And then they pretty much said, your bath is done. And so we wobbled out in our clogs, nearly slipped again, and we went out to this changing area where we could take off the clothes that they gave us, and then we wrapped ourselves in some towels, and then he came and wrapped us with some more towels on our head and on our body, and it was so snug. Like we were
really
little
nice.
babies coming out of a bath.
Yeah, so then after that, they took us to this waiting area where you're supposed to just cool down in a, it's not hot, but it's not cold either, where they would offer you different drinks that you can buy.
And we were incredibly thirsty at that point because we had just sweat every drop of liquid that we had in our bodies out, and we literally downed an entire water bottle. Gosh, water never tasted so good. After that, we returned our clogs and went back upstairs to our changing room where all of our stuff was being held, and we basically put some clothes back on and left the place.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a wonderful experience that I will surely remember forever, and hopefully we get to do it again someday. It was really fun.
That was nice.
Yeah, it did cost us $55 US per person, which compared to the US, like a spa day over there, It was really cheap, and we were just really glad that we got such a wonderful price and a very not painful,
Yes.
not brutal experience.
But today was actually our final day here in Istanbul because tonight we will be taking an overnight bus all the way to Cappadocia. So it's going to be like a 10-hour bus ride.
Yep. Our journey around Turkey begins.
I was just talking to Claire about how sketchy the things she's packing look.
Oh yeah, we got ourselves some dried figs, but they honestly look like some magic mushrooms. And then this huge packet of white mystery powder. I don't know, could be drugs, but we know that it's just eucalyptus tea. Anyways, Chad, before I put this away, I want to share our new travel blanket with you all that we got from a small business called Gravel. And you know that if we're bringing this with us in our carry-ons, that means we love it enough to travel the world with it. And that is because this thing is incredibly lightweight, but also very, very warm at the same time. There are little pockets for your feet to go into as well as your hands, and there are all these clips all over the blanket that allow you to shape it into all sorts of different shapes. You can hang it on your neck if you don't want it to keep falling off your body, and this is just going to come in really handy because I remember the last time I was on an overnight bus, I was so cold, I was shivering, I was wondering what it'd be like to be warm on that bus, and this is gonna save my life tonight. And if you too want to be warm during your travels, we'll link this in our description box below, and you can bring one of these puppies home. All right, I think we've got everything packed. All right, let's go.
Guys, my bag officially is broken. It's so sad.
We have officially made it on our bus and we'll be on here for the next 10 hours or so. So wish us some good night's sleep. And with that, if you'd like to follow along on our journey to 50 countries, hit subscribe. If you'd like to see behind the scenes footage, join us on Patreon. And with that, we'll catch you in Cappadocia next time. Bye.